Hello and welcome, my fellow main characters. I'm your friendly neighborhood buff nerd, BAM! And today, my fellow main characters, I'm going to be taking you guys through a routine that you could do to get the ultimate sleeper build. I'm talking about a body that keeps you discreet and low-key. I'm talking about the only way people are going to see your gains is if you take off your hoodie or your shirt, right? But when you do, people are like, holy aura farming, this man is insane. So the goal in this video is to show you guys a workout routine that you guys can do to obtain the ultimate sleeper build like my boy Yuta Okkotsu. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into it.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true!
So before we get into the actual workout, you guys already know my drill. We gotta go into the character build components. A line that I'd really appreciate from Yuta is, I want the confidence to feel like it's okay to live. It's one of those lines, simple, but also kind of like melancholy, like, oh man, like what kind of life did Yuta live to have to, like, this is one of his goals, right? But honestly, for a lot of my clients, this is an encapsulation of their goal. They just want to get a body that they're proud of, right? And for a lot of main characters, they don't want to really show off their build. They don't want to be that macho guy walking in, breaking through walls and bumping into people. They rather be kind of low-key. They kind of want to feel comfortable within themselves. But when it's time to go to the beach, when it's time to bring that special somebody over and they reveal what's underneath, boy, they want a little bit of that aura. They want that low-key confidence without actually being on that alpha male status. And I respect that, and that's what this build is for. Yuta, when we look at his physique, obviously throughout the whole series, don't really get a good image of what his physique looks like underneath his clothes. But we can assume from his performance and just objectively from what we see here, he has a very lean physique. There's no extra bulk, no obvious musculature. He's not Todo, he's not Hikari, he's not bulging out of his clothes, right? Like, he's very discreet and low key. Like, he can kind of play off like he's a normal person, but we know based on what he does in the show, he is definitely not a normal person. Yuta is also, in my opinion, a jack of all trades kind of character. He's incredibly versatile. He's powerful, he's fast, he has high regeneration with reverse curse technique. He's skilled with weapons, not just the swords. We've also seen him use other weapons throughout the series as well. I'm talking about in the movie. He also has hands as well. Like, this man can do a lot of different things. And of course, let's not forget about the fact that his curse technique is the ability to copy any other curse technique. So this man is literally built to be the versatile jack of all trades. And in most series, jack of all trades have that weakness, right? They have the weakness of, like, they're pretty good at everything, but never master of anything. But Yuta does not have that problem, bro. Because he's a special grade sorcerer and he has an endless pool of curse energy, all of his techniques surpass the originals, basically. So and then, of course, like we're talking about, he's got that sleeper build. He's able to walk down the street with nobody really paying him any attention to turn his heads, which is the kind of vibe he's on. He wants to be low key, but he also wants the physical power and capacity to protect the people he cares about, aka Maki. Let's take these components now and look at what are actual goals that Yuta would have if he was a real life person. Of course, he wants to stay lean. Again, he's trying to stay low key, he's not trying to be big, and he's also an incredibly mobile character, so he doesn't want any excess weight on his frame that's unnecessary. Gain lean muscle mass. Especially for most people, I created this routine as a way to build lean muscle, and also a way for those that are a little bit heavy set to also lose some body fat as well. So whether you're starting off as very skinny, this routine will help you to build muscle. And then also, if you're on the more heavier side, this routine will also help you to shred down pounds. Of course, we need to increase that strength. This man hits like a truck, aka a car, right? But when I think about that endless stamina, the endless pool of energy, we gotta improve that cardio, right? We gotta improve that gas tank. We gotta improve our ability to cycle oxygen throughout our body so that we constantly have energy flowing at all times. Because that's my boy Yuta's whole flow. He's got boundless energy to fuel all of his curse techniques, right? Like, he is not running out of steam anytime soon for anybody. And then, of course, unique goals I have for Yuta is swordsmanship, right? Like, his primary weapon that we see him use in the series is a sword. We have seen him use hand-to-hand combat We have seen him use just curse techniques and box and use other weapons, but his primary weapon that he's gotten used to using is definitely a sword. So that's going to be a unique goal that we have for this build as well. And then for those of you guys that are new, these are my training styles. I basically create different archetypes for how to organize different types of training instead of just being like, this is powerlifting or bodybuilding. I have tank and I have fighter and I have striker, so things like that. Yuta is such a versatile and powerful character. If somebody was like, shouldn't Yuta be everything? Should we just check off each marker here and just say that's Yuta? You would not be wrong, but realistically, if I'm creating a program, it's hard for me to cover every base. So I really want to focus in on the realistic elements and come in as close as possible to the fantasy of being Yuta. So what I ended up going with for this routine is a combination of striker, so a speed type build. Then we have ranger, which is going to be our endurance. This is going to add to that endless pool of cursed energy, building up that cardiovascular and muscular endurance. And then I added in healer, so some functional movements. This is as far as I can stretch from a realistic point of view right now, based on what I know as a personal trainer, to kind of match the not only the aesthetic of Yuta, but also the physical capacity of Yuta, bringing it into reality right now. And then the training structure we're gonna go with a full body split. It's gonna be a 3-day split that you can run 3 days in a week.
And here we go.
So special notes I have for this routine. Usually when I create routines like this, I make them to be designed to be a 6-week routine. You basically run through the routine for 6 weeks, test it out for your body, see how it feels. And then after those 6 weeks, you either run through that program again, or you try something different, or you tweak what you've been doing and make adjustments from there. For Yuta, I wanted this routine to be incredibly progressive, right? Like I just had this idea of like, how do I take someone from beginner level to advanced level within one routine? Basically, each workout or each exercise, you have 3 different variations to it that scale based on what level of fitness you're at. So we have green for beginner level, we have orange for intermediate, and then we have red for advanced, right? And then I also have a special note here that you'll also be able to see in the description when you want to look at the full workout yourself, a special note about when is it the appropriate time to advance to the next progression, right? I wanted this routine to be something that you could do at home with minimal equipment. The only 2 pieces of equipment I would recommend you picking up if you don't have it would be a pull-up bar of some kind. It could be a doorway pull-up bar that you get from Amazon or from like Target or like Modell's. Is Modell still open? And then just a set of resistance band. Let's go into full body day 1. Of course, we have our warm-up. You guys can look at that for yourselves, and I always recommend doing the warm-ups. Let's go into the workout. So as you can see here, you have 3 levels, right? You have green, which is beginner, then you have orange, which is intermediate, and then you have red, which is advanced. And so basically you'll do each one to kind of figure out which level you're at, and then that'll be your workout you'll do, right? We have bench dips, we have walking lunges, then we have banded assisted pull-ups, then we have hip thrusts, and then we have leg raises. Once you're able to do the green level of full body day 1 with no issues or problems, it literally feels like it's kind of easy mode for you. It feels kind of moderate, like a 60 to 70% of your effort. That's when you move on to the orange level. And so again, same rules apply. Once you're able to do this workout at a moderate capacity, right? Like it feels like on easy mode, or it feels like, you know what, I built up a sweat, but I could definitely go harder than that. Then you go into the advanced mode. You go into the red territory, where we have resistance band dips. When you look this up, you may see versions of this where you're using the resistance band to aid you in the dips to make it easier. No. I want you to be doing the opposite, right? I want you to be using the resistance bands to make it harder for you, to add more intensity so you build your triceps and your chest even more. Then we have resistance band split squats. Then we have resistance band pull-ups. Again, same principle with the resistance band dips. You're going to see videos online of people using the resistance band to help them, which we were doing at the green level, but you're going to use it as the opposite way. You're going to use it in the opposite way to increase the intensity of the pull-up. right? So it's like doing weighted pull-ups without the weights. Then you have resistance band hip thrusts, and then you have hanging leg raises. And so each day follows that kind of principle where you will go through green. And if you're an absolute beginner, you will go through green for maybe 4 to 6 weeks and then see how your body adjusts and adapts to it. Then when you've gotten used to that, now you progress over to orange, intermediate level. Follow the same thing, commit to that for 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months. Then when you feel like you've mastered that, then you move on to advance. And by that time, you will be developing that sleeper build. Muscles will be popping, body fat will be reduced. You're going to be fitting into clothes better. You're going to be able to keep a low-key frame. But for those people that know you or close to you, they're going to see those biceps popping. They're going to see that back definition. They're going to see that gut go down. And you're going to feel more confident. But we have full body day 2, where we have green level is push-ups, jump squats, bodyweight rows, floor straight leg glute kickbacks, and then straight arm plank holds. Then orange level, we have archer push-ups, resistance band squats, feet elevated bodyweight rows, banded floor, straight leg glute kickbacks, and then you have elbow plank holds, right? And then red level, the highest level, boy, you have resistance band push-ups, resistance band jump squats. That one is an interesting one, and you have to be careful with how you set that bad boy up. Then you have resistance band bodyweight rows, right? Then you have banded standing straight leg glute kickbacks, and then you have resistance band straight arm plank holds. And then finally we have full body day 3. At the green level, we have pike push-ups, Hindu squats, resistance band face pulls, we have bodyweight deadlifts, and then we have sit-ups. At the orange or intermediate level, we have feet elevated pike push-ups, assisted sissy squats. Ooh, I have so much PTSD from sissy squats, guys. Sissy squats, if you want to develop your quads, bro. Then we have resistance band bent over rows for developing that back. Then we have resistance band deadlifts, and then we have Russian twists. And then at the advanced / red level, we have wall handstand push-ups, full non-assisted sissy squats, are kneeling single arm resistance band rows, resistance band single leg deadlifts. Finally, we have resistance band payoff press or band rotation. Yeah, and that's a full workout. And so if you were to fully commit to this routine to develop a physique like Yuta, this routine can easily last you 3 months. And you could even push it further if you still see yourself getting more results from it. And then of course we have our bonus activities that we're going to do for Yuta. And that's going to be practicing a sword-based martial art for 1 to 2 times per week. And the options I put down was for Kendo. Kendo is going to give you a more formal understanding of martial arts, especially from a more Eastern style martial arts point of view. But Yuta's an anime character. Yuta's got some flair. Yuta be flipping the sword around and doing some crazy stuff that doesn't make sense. So for us to add a little bit of flair to those fundamentals, let's do lightsaber duels. People that actually practice lightsaber duels in real life, you guys are so cool to me. I'm a big nerd. You guys know that. I'm making this video, right? But like lightsaber duels, bro, like actual lightsaber sparring and training and learning the tricks and stuff, that's some cool stuff to me, bro. If you want that fundamental swordsmanship with a little bit of flair, get yourself 1 to 2 days of Kendo per week, and then throw in 1 day of like Star Wars style lightsaber practice. And now you're going to be moving like Yuta. You're going to have that low-key but ultimate sleeper build physique, and you're going to have the swordsmanship and the flair to kind of show that off. So anyways, my fellow main characters, that's it for today's video. I appreciate you guys taking time to watch. But anyways, my fellow main characters, like this video if it made you smile, comment this video made you think, and subscribe if you want to see more. And always remember, Jesus loves you, and that you are the main character of your own story. My name is Bam. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!